So maybe let me just start by sharing my screen. All of this is basically going to be in the browser. We are not going to be doing anything outside the browser. So today it's just basically demos. And we are basically going to be going through the different aspects of the research process. So we went through the Gen AI and all of those responsible use, but now what we're going to do is now looking at the research itself. Imagine you have to do to undertake a research. What are you able to do both in the discovery phase, the analysis phase, and then the documentation phase? So that's what we're going to be doing today. Then we see how we can integrate them into your workflow using AI. So today, I think yesterday we ended saying, please come with a topic because you're going to be doing that. You're going to be working through your topic. I have mine, so we shall go through mine, and then we'll answer any questions you may have, and then that's how we'll be able to proceed. So let's just start right away. So, sorry, let's just start right away. This is the normal browser. Sorry. So my question.
Excuse me, Nimrod.
Yes, please.
Sorry. Greetings, everyone. I'm just requesting those who have not taken AIs for not taking. Can you please log them out? They are keeping others out of the training, because the training, the venue has reached its threshold, but most of the other members are out. So please, can we allow them to come in by making sure we don't have note takers on board? If you want to take notes, please do take notes in your notebooks or anywhere else. Those who are following on YouTube, we are free to also take notes from YouTube. Thank you so much. Sorry to disturb. Nimrod, you can go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Unity. Then actually, for those who are taking notes, the tool I'm going to show you today will be able to take the notes if you're able to provide the link to the video. So you'll be able to get all the notes from the transcription, and then also with any other source added, like from cross-referencing. So you may not need to really capture all of that information with your AI note taker. So where was I? Yes. So if this is how we have been doing it under normal circumstances. So if I have my topic is the impact of AI on smallholder farming in East Africa. If you do a normal search, the way Google has done it is it will give you an AI overview of what is available. And you can see key impact, enhanced resilience to climate change, access to inputs and markets. So there's that breakdown. Then AI in action. So you can even do a deep dive that is using Gemini. But usually, for those who did research those days, you would start from here. So you have smart farming and artificial intelligence in East Africa, how AI is revolutionizing smallholder farming in Africa. Is AI intelligence of the future of farming? So like that. So you'd have this and you go through each of those, getting the information you would want, and then you start. So that is the discovery phase. Now, there are tools that are built to do the heavy lifting for you in this aspect. The first one we're going to go to is, sorry, I have the Zoom menu that is affecting the tabs. So anyway, the first one we're going to go through is perplexity.ai. Let me just Let me just paste this in the chat. Sorry. So that is perplexity.ai. Let me copy this and it's in the chat. Let me paste that here. So that's the first one. You may need to, I think you don't need to sign in if you just use it, but that's the first one. So if we are able to post our same question, impact of AI on smallholder farming in East Africa. So Perplexity is different in a way that it is an LLM that is just basically built to search for resources. And so all of those links you saw, it is going to look through, get the information relevant to your question, and then structure it in a way that brings it all together so that you don't have to redo everything, go link by link by link. So the advantage with this is where it is better than the other LLMs. The chance of hallucinating is more or less minimized or even taken out. So it will give you a summary. Here is its answer. So you can see the impact of AI on smallholder farming in East Africa is significant and transformative, offering benefits such as improved crop yield, better pest and disease management, and enhanced climate adaptivity. So it is all adaptability. So it is all there. So it will give you the AI application in smallholder farmers. You'll have precision farming tools to monitor crop health, moisture, nutrient levels, etc. And the link is here. And when you hover over the link, you're able to see where this comes in. The next aspect is AI-powered early warning systems to provide farmers with insights when to plant, irrigate, harvest, helping them to better adapt to climate change and environmental stressors. So this is as seen in Kenya's projects involving maize and beans. The link is there, the resource. Then you have AI computer vision aids in identifying pests, diseases, nutrient deficiencies, enabling targeted interventions that minimizes crop losses and environmental impact. So you have the link for FAO. Then it goes down then to the benefits of smallholder farmers, the benefits of AI for smallholder farmers. Then you'll have helps optimize agricultural inputs and improve yields, reducing costs and increasing profitability. There is the link. Then digital platforms bundled with AI enable farmers, including women and marginalized groups, to coordinate better and access timely agronomic advice, closing information gaps, especially for those with limited internet across SMS-based delivery. So that is the link for that. And then AI-enabled soil analysis and climate forecasting tools help farmers manage resources sustainably and enhance resilience against climate risk. So that's the other link. Then you'll have challenges and considerations. So infrastructure limitations, high initial investment costs for AI technologies, and ethical concerns, including data privacy, ownership, and disenfranchisement of farm workers due to automation. So it looked through all those potential sources and put it all together. However, it will also show you the images that come from those resources. So the different images. It will also show you the sources themselves where it got that information from. so that you know you are not being hoodwinked. So those are all the resources it got that information from. Still on the internet, so you are sure that at least from the level in which they are indexed, these are reputable organizations. So you see the World Bank, you see BMZ, Digital Global, you see the FAO under the UN. Then, so you see reputable organizations. The other thing you will see is the steps within which it got you the information. So it searched for impact of AI, smallholder farming in East Africa, then AI technologies for smallholder farmers, then benefits and challenges. So that's the step within which it got you that information, and it reviewed 14 resources and finished by giving you the answer that you have here. So now that puts a magnifying glass into what actually happens behind the scenes. It's not everything, but it is something. Which is the reverse, which is different from what you have from ChatGPT, where you put all the other LLMs, where you put information, a prompt, it does its thing and gives you a result. You don't know how it does it. You don't know how it came to that. And you just receive results at the end. So this is one of them. Now, for those of us who are research inclined, there is another tool, an AI-powered tool for doing research, but this one focuses mostly on articles. So we are still in the discovery phase. It focuses mostly on research articles. That is elicit.com. Let me paste this in the chat as well. That is elicit.com. I think this one will need you to sign in, but it is free. Just that you get half the packs if you are using the free tier. So where it would give you, anyway, let's show, we shall see that. So again, I just want to find papers on impact of AI on smallholder farming in East Africa. The same question, and I just paste it there. So what it will do is look through the different journals and get for you the best papers. And for each paper, you will see a digital object identifier here for that paper, along with certain information, who the author is, where it is hosted, the citations, the year. Then an example, again, 2023, 24 citations, etc. There is a small summary. So here you have a summary of all the top 4 resources, but if you have the paid version, I think it goes up to 8. Yes, it goes up to 8 resources. So it will take the top 8 resources and give you a summary. So the summary we have for 1, 2, 3, 4, the one that these top 4 AI. I'm trying to, let me just zoom in a bit. Let me just zoom in a bit. Okay. So you will see artificial intelligence presents significant opportunities for transforming smallholder farming in East Africa through substantial barriers. Though substantial barriers remain. AI applications in precision farming, crop monitoring, and climate resilient practices offer transformative potential for sustainable agricultural development. There is a source. Research demonstrates that intelligent sensor networks for real-time climate monitoring can help farmers make precise decisions regarding irrigation, pest control, and crop management. With AI-driven interventions, showing 50% better yields compared to conventional methods. There is the site, the source. However, adoption faces critical challenges, including inadequate digital infrastructure, fragmented policy frameworks, skill gaps, and financial barriers across the East African community. That is the source. Additionally, concerns exist about AI technologies potentially reinforcing hierarchies and disregarding indigenous ways of knowing, particularly affecting women farmers who may face new systems of appropriation and control over their labor and knowledge. There is a source. Overcoming these barriers requires harmonized regional policies, capacity building programs, and inclusive approaches to technology implementation. So here's the summary. However, you have access to the papers themselves. So we are going to, so I'm assuming this is our discovery phase. So I'm just going to go through getting these papers on my own. So it's just, you come here, sorry. You come here, click to copy the digital object identifier. You come in your browser and paste. It will fetch your paper. There it is. So you're looking for a PDF version of this. Here, view PDF. There is the paper. And we're just going to download. So what we are doing right now, maybe let me just say that what we're doing right now is we are going through the discovery phase to the documentation phase. So I'm just getting the resources we need in order to get started. Again, my topic is impact of AI on smallholder farming in East Africa. So that was the first source I've received. I'm just copying the DOI, pasting it, downloading the PDF. That is it. So the next source we have is this one. I copy the DOI, paste it in the search. Sorry. So there is the paper. I am looking for the PDF. Is it? Yeah, view PDF here. It will bring up the PDF and I will download it. So I will download it. It has been downloaded. We go to the third, which is revolutionizing smallholder agriculture with AI. So I copy this, paste it. PDF is here. We click the PDF. It's taking some time. There is your PDF, the abstract and the rest of the information. Okay. So then we will download it. So it has been downloaded. So then let's go for the other one, mixed methods. So we've copied that one. Okay, so here is the PDF. This one look, okay. This one needs you to subscribe. Those with the ResearchGate access can acquire it. I don't want to go through that process now. So this one we're going to leave. Going to leave it out. So let's go to the another one. So the economic impacts of AI. So we're just copying. I haven't read any of these. I haven't looked at them. I'm just getting the different resources. Remember, this is the discovery phase. We're going to move on. Once we have the resources, we'll go to the next. So we're looking for the PDF. Yeah, view or download PDF file. There is the PDF file. Then has been downloaded. I think we can do one more. Seeds of food sovereignty. PDF is here. This one seems to be taking some time. Let's just load another one, which is this one. While that one is loading, let's get another one, which is this one. So this is the last one. The role of mulching in reducing greenhouse emissions. So the PDF. This one has some, I think this is French. Has some French in it, but either way, let us just download it. And then the seeds, this one I think has come. Let us download it as well. Okay. These are our papers that are going to address, that we are going to check for the impact of AI in smallholder farming in East Africa. So now we are going into the next tool. Yesterday we had talked about what tool we as researchers should be using to aggregate all of this information. So the one I would suggest we use, because of all of its safeguards, is NotebookLM. Let me paste the chat. If you have a Google account, you should be able to have access. So this is notebooklm.google.com. I think that's it, google.com. So that's the link. Yeah, notebooklm.google.com. So Beatrice says, trying to get Perplexity, but it requires payment or subscription. Perplexity doesn't need payment because I'm using the free version. If you check here to upgrade, I am on the free version. I don't have the Pro, I don't have the Max, or even for education, I don't have any of these. So I'm on the free version. It should be able to go there. So anyway, if we go to NotebookLM, and so we are going to create a new notebook. Oh, sorry, I think mine is frozen. Okay. Okay. So here is our notebook. This is what it looks like. There are 3 titles. There are 3 panels. They actually call them panels. The first panel is for your sources. The second panel is where you interact with those sources. The third panel is the studio, the one where it adds the secret source, like extra. So the sources, the advantage of using NotebookLM is you specify the sources you want. So we have already discovered the different sources in our previous discovery phase. So we have the sources. Now we are going to just interrogate those sources. So by doing that, you take out any hallucination by AI. So you have negated the potential for AI to hallucinate by doing that. So the first thing, we're just going to add our sources. And you see the source limit is up to 50 sources. That means, I think yesterday or the day before, we had talked about the advantage of tools like NotebookLM, AI having like having the long-term memory and the short-term memory. And for LLMs like ChatGPT, Claude, and Grok, their short-term memory is not as big. So you'll find that there is a limit to the number of resources you can put in a ChatGPT prompt. I think it was 10 or 12, something like that. While NotebookLM will allow you to do 50. And on the other hand, you can even attach a YouTube video, a website, or even text. So if you have notes, you can paste it. Additionally, if you have a recording, a video recording, like let's say this webinar was, okay, it is recorded, you can paste it as a source and then you interrogate the content later through the prompting panel. So that is the advantage of having NotebookLM. And it is totally free for all the sessions. It's just that it is a bit limited to the secret source, this other side. So the first two tiles, totally free. If you have a free Google account, if you have a Google account, you can access as much as possible. But where they put the limitations a bit is on the studio. So here the studio. So we have uploaded all of our papers. So they are there. So in the chat function, we can either add a note, create a mind map. If you want to learn, we shall do this a bit. Then audio overview. This is one of the things I find very interesting with it, given that we are different types of learners. Some people learn by physical, some people learn by seeing, others learn by listening. So an audio overview creates a conversation regarding your resources. So, but it takes a few minutes to set up. So we shall have it running and then get back to it later. The other thing I wanted to share is you see down here where you will, I don't know if I have, okay. So down here where you have add note. So anything you do in the chat, panel, if you don't save it as a note, it goes away. So that's the other advantage of NotebookLM. It does not keep your things in memory or anywhere else. So it will just work with it. If you want to save it, add it as a note. If you don't, forget. It will forget. So this is where I've been burnt a few times. Like you go down, interrogating your different resources, getting information, and you forget to save. All of that information goes away and you have to start afresh. So let me just undo this. Sorry. Okay. So let us get started. Here are the different sources we got with the help of Elicit. And here is the prompting phase. We are now just going to interrogate those different sources. We have 6 sources, and you can pick and choose which of these sources you want to have in. So I would like create a summary of the sources, focusing on AI impact of AI on smallholder farmers. So I'm just interrogating the different resources. So it will look through the sources and then summarize. So here again is the summary. Just check the charts while it's doing that. Okay. So for the benefit of Richard, the panels, there are 3 panels. So for the sources, this is where you put all the information you want to work with here. And in order to, you see that whole aspect of garbage in, garbage out. So we want to make sure we have very good sources. That is why we deployed whether Perplexity or Elicit. In this case, we deployed Elicit to get very good sources that are around our topic of interest. And we have loaded them here. We can add other sources that may be web articles and the likes, but we will come back to that later. We'll just add that later. And then we are able to, actually, you know what, let's just do that. So if we come to Perplexity, we had sources, and we copy this link back to our NotebookLM. So we are adding a link. So we paste the URL here, insert. So it is adding our new, we come back to Perplexity. We also copy this, copy link, come back to the NotebookLM we are adding, a website URL. And then I think we can add one more. We come back to Perplexity, get FAO, copy link, come back here, add website, paste URL. And then just let us add this one that had digital solutions. Copy link, AI, NotebookLM, website. So I think that is enough. So I'm assuming we have not interrogated this. This hasn't figured, this hasn't figured, this hasn't figured, because these are the 4 we added. So if you look at when we said create a summary of the sources focusing on impact of AI on smallholder farmers. Remember the websites we added, I've taken them out so that we just focus on this. It will tell you, it will break it down based on the sources provided. Here is a summary of the impact of AI on smallholder farmers. Positive impacts and opportunities for AI. You will see AI-driven Agriculture presents a transformative opportunity for smallholder farmers in emerging economies, particularly in Africa, by enhancing productivity, profitability, and resilience against climate change. So you will see a link here. And
starts at
we are having feedback.
yes. Now you want to go, then you come.
No, I'm very much near. Yeah, the network is not connecting very well.
Unity, are you able to mute
It's
Nashiba?
not correct.
Oh, thank you. So
Yes,
you will
thank you.
notice.
Sorry.
So you will notice that our first source, which is this one, that is where we were able to get it. So if you are able to click, these are the others. So it has harmonized 1, 2, and 3. And from this, you can see exactly, if you click it, you will see exactly where it got it from. So you will see harnessing AI for sustainable agricultural development in Africa, opportunities, challenges, and impact. So it has picked it from there. Then if you click the source 2, it will show you exactly where it got it from. If you click source 3, it will show you where it got it from. So then, if we go to the next, let's say 4, the one about can significantly boost crop yields, so increase in profitability, etc. Like all of that information, where it got it exactly where it got it, that is where you'll find, as well as the 5th source. This is the source we got, this one. I've forgotten. We just saved it the way it was. I figure we didn't get the right title, but you will see exactly where. If we just scroll down, precision agriculture, the 9, you'll find where it got it from. There are others. There is 10, 11, and 12. So you'll see if you just hover instead of clicking, it will show you precision farming, leveraging capabilities of AI in tech, then data on soil health, like all of the different parts, such as water, fertilizers, and pesticides. Yeah, etc. So it will show you exactly where all of that information is coming from. If we were to go to improved market and financial access, still the different the different places where it has captured it, you will see it there. And yeah, so basically that is it. It has given you all the different information. So if we go back, now I want to select all sources. So I want all sources, but this time my prompt was not a good one because I did not specify exactly how I wanted the information. So let me just, you see this also, save as note. If I don't save it to the note, it is forgotten. So let's just refresh this. So now we are starting afresh with all these sources included. So we are going to, let's say, create a table summarizing the core message and core research focus of these sources and findings. Okay. Message. So, and their findings. Their findings. Okay, so let's put that. So we asked it for a table summarizing all of those. I think there are like 10 sources now. We added 4 to the 6. So it's looking at all of those and doing its thing, trying to summarize the core message and the core research focus of these sources and their findings. So in the meantime, I can answer questions if there are any. Please raise your hand and you are free to speak.
Okay, thank you so much, Nimrod. Today we are just using the chat room and also raising of hands. We do not have the question and answer room today. So we can go ahead. Those with questions, raise your hands. I'm going to read from the chat the questions that we have in the chat. Well, some of the questions I think oh, sorry, I see someone was asking, can you provide the YouTube account? Yeah, I'll send you the link as soon as possible. Sorry for that one. I missed that one. I'm only seeing it now. Can we have access to recordings? Thank you. We are not going to really give you the recordings. Instead, the YouTube channel is live, so you can go, you can view it anytime. You can go there and watch. And if you want to download it, you can download from the YouTube side. That's what I can respond. So I'm not seeing any question that's directed to our facilitator, unless if I'm lost. If you have a question, please raise your hand.
Can I come in?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, say Joseph.
Yes, please. Though today I've joined late, it looks very interesting. But I'm on this NotebookLM. It's giving me source, add the chart. Where is he manipulating in all these things that he's manipulating? I've managed to log in, took me to my login and the like. But now, the way it is coming out, the way he has displayed it, it's totally different with what I have myself. So I don't know if because I came late, you cannot, or this session will be shared.
The session I'm saying is on YouTube live. So even after we are done, you can just rewatch it on YouTube, but he can respond maybe on the view that he's using so that it helps you. Nimrod, you can go ahead, answer his question.
Okay. Thank you. So the difference is I have populated the sources. So I think what he may have, if we were to go back, I think what he may have is something like this, where it is blank with nothing in it. But if you are able to go and add your sources, sorry, Nashiba, please mute again. We're having feedback from your side. So he may be having this, but if you're able to come and add the source, that is where you start from. So remember, the first panel is for the source. So this is your input. The chart is where you interrogate your sources. And then the studio is the extra source. We'll go to the extra source later. But let's first work with the source and the chart. So I am going to go back. Yeah, I'm going to go back to this, the notebook we had. So let's go back to the notebook where I loaded this. So, crap. Sorry. Remember the thing I talked about saving, saving the note? Now everything has gone.
You did
Uh,
save.
yeah, I apologize. So yes, again, this is the advantage of Notebook LM. It doesn't save your information, whatever you're putting in the chat, it just works with it. If you don't save it to the note, potea. So I apologize. Let me do this again. Trying to remember, I said something like create a table. Can anyone remember what I said? It was create a table.
Was create a table summarizing the core message and core research focusing on their findings. Core research something focusing on their findings.
Core research?
There was a word I missed out, but after that, it's focusing on their findings.
Of the sources and main findings across the sources. Okay, I hope it's something like that. Sorry. So it's going to take some time looking through all those 10 sources. Again, any other, let me just look through the chat if there are any other, will we get the YouTube link? Yes, so you see how we had already typed, so for Elizabeth, you see how we had already typed this prompt, it had even given us a table, but when I moved away, that information went away. So that is the memory of NotebookLM. It won't save it if you're working on it. On the other hand, for its prompt, so which is the short-term memory, its short-term memory has up to 65 million words. So that's why it's able to take in up to 50 sources. So it is a very, very big memory. So that's why in this prompt here, where we are saying start typing, we can type in anything and it will keep working with this. We can load in very many sources and it will work with it. So that is the advantage of NotebookLM. Those using mobile phone to access NotebookLM, I really do not know. Try it, you will tell us. I really don't know accessing NotebookLM on phone. But since it's a Google technology, I figure it can be accessed. Create a core table, okay. Question I'd like to know is giving multiple sources from the web equally to create and verify. Yeah. Sorry, I think now this prompt has not formatted it as a table. Okay, it is a table, but it is not formatted as a good table. Because you see, these are it hasn't put it well. Let me just, sorry, let me just clear this and paste. Okay, so for Aaron, I would like to know if these LLMs are useful with giving multiple sources from the web equally as accurate as verifying the other content, information being true or false. So from my experience, what we are trying, you see even NotebookLM has discover. This is where you can discover sources. But like for me, I am very, very, very skeptical about discovering. On the LLM side and on the NotebookLM side, it's better as a researcher, I pick the actual articles or journals or sources I would want to interrogate. So that is why I really do not know, but for me, erring on the side of caution, I think because we are dealing with artificial narrow intelligence that is good at doing one thing very well, I would like to stick to it doing that one thing very well. So that is why you will see we will work with Perplexity to get sources. We will work with Elicit to pick out the articles, and then now come to NotebookLM to interrogate those sources. So then let's pause here now that it has given us the table. Let us take a look at the table. So based on the sources provided, here is a summary of their core messages, research focuses, and main findings. So remember, under normal circumstances, when you are doing your research, you would have to read all of these sources, just looking for a particular aspect. And in most cases, you would either forget or lose track of your train of thought and all of that. So you now have a tool that is able to interrogate these sources that you have sieved out using another tool. Again, the mantra for this is there is no reward for suffering. That is why Jesus died on the cross for our sins. So there is no reward for suffering, but you need to do it responsibly and ethically. So here we're just in the discovery phase, just interrogating the documentation. Sorry, my hand was in this. I was pointing, I figure my hand was in the camera. So the first source is smart farming and artificial intelligence in East Africa, addressing indigeneity, plants, and gender. The core message, so adoption of smart farming in AI and AI in East Africa must be critically examined through decolonial and feminist lens to avoid perpetuating colonial era inequalities and to create a more just governance framework that values indigenous knowledge, women, farmers, and intelligence of plants. So again, if you hover, you will see where it has come from. The dots means there are other sources where that appears. So you can click here and see where it appears. So you'll see Foster and others. So you'll also see the one about the GMOs and etc. So it has picked everything in that document where it is talked about. Then the core research focus. So critically analyzing that techno-optimistic and, wait, I've remembered. Let me first save it to note before we lose it. So it is generating the note. So it is here. Sorry, I had gone. And another thing I'm going to do, I'm going to click audio overview because it takes time to make it. So let me just create it. So for the studio, this is where it does the special source. So we are going to see that later. It had said come back in a few minutes. There is also a video overview. We are going to do this, but later. So we'll work with this later. And in the meantime, let's just continue. So the next source, we hadn't done main findings. Main findings, dominant narratives ignore our colonial legacies. So that's what it's saying. There are others. So then we look at harnessing AI for sustainable agricultural development in Africa. AI has the transformative potential for sustainable agriculture in Africa, but it is Successful and equitable integration depends on addressing significant challenges related to infrastructure, data accessibility, skill gaps, and ethics. So you have that as your core message. So you are interrogating these different sources, seeing what, so now the research focus, exploring opportunities like precision farming. The challenges are digital divide, the impacts is on smallholder farmers and supply chains, and then ethical considerations in implementing AI. Then opportunities, AI offers transformative opportunities, etc. So now this, if you're doing a research, you now see the potential for what you can start researching looking into seeing where the focus is. Then economic impacts of AI-driven agriculture on small-scale farmers. You will have AI-driven agriculture offers significant benefits. That is there. The core message, examining economic impacts of AI technologies such as precision farming. And then you have economic benefits. So that's the focus. Leads to increased crop yields, etc. So then digital solutions in agriculture. So the fourth industrial revolution, AI is already providing tangible benefits. So then we are highlighting successful applications of the fourth industrial revolution. So often led by CGI, AR, etc. So we are just looking at all of these. The other thing we would now go into is if you want to do, remember we are asking it as a starting point, not it to do everything. So if you ask it something like outline the methodological approaches, because you want to start your research used in these sources. And identify the main elements. So it's just on your journey. You're following your journey. So it's going to take a look at that. And it will, again, my bad, I did not provide a good prompt that says exactly how I want the information relayed back to me, but it is fine. We can move from there. So we'll wait a bit while it gives us the information. So there it is. So the methodological approaches are used in the sources. You will have smart farming and AI in East Africa. So you have critical analysis, theoretical framework development, literature synthesis, the thought experiment. So you will see what is available and what can you do that is different to see if you get different results. So then the second theme is harnessing AI for sustainable agriculture development in Africa. So you have a thematic review, synthesis of research, case study illustrations. Then for the third one, you have the one about economic impacts of AI-driven agriculture on small-scale farmers. You had a mixed method research design with primary data collection, secondary data collection, quantitative analysis, qualitative analysis, case studies. Then for digital solutions, you had the use of examples. From there, work with CGIAR, synthesis of reports and strategies. Then the one about how AI helps Kenyan smallholder farmers to adapt climate change. You have project-specific focus, multi-source data integration, ground truthing. That is something that is different. Then is AI the future of farming? So it was an article. So you have the review of applications, synthesis of challenges, policy framework development. So you will see the different options. So now the other thing we can look into, our audio overview is done. Let me just do something small as well. let's do another where we are creating critical. I think it's critical. I think, okay, comparison, yes. Comparison, because all of these had theoretical approaches. So we want to do a critical comparison of the theoretical frameworks used in these sources. Sorry. While it is doing its thing, let us wait for it. Let me just check again in the chat if there is anything. I think it's about the WhatsApp group. I don't think there is a WhatsApp group that I know of. What is this one? Okay, so there is the critical comparison of the theoretical frameworks has come. So of course, here is the critical comparison of the theoretical frameworks used in the provided sources. So the sources approach the topic of AI in African agriculture from a variety of theoretical standpoints, ranging from techno-functional and economic frameworks that prioritize efficiency and growth to deep and critical social political frameworks that examine power, justice, and historical inequality. A critical comparison reveals fundamental differences in how technology is perceived, how success is defined, and how barriers to adoption are understood. So you have the critical social political justice frameworks. Then you have the social technical adoption frameworks. Depending on the path of the research, then you will have economic and market-driven frameworks for those in agribiz, then techno-functional and developmental frameworks. And then here is a table. When compared, you will have the view of technology. AI is a site of power struggle, potentially reinforcing colonial hierarchies, bias, and extraction. Then you'll have a unit of analysis. So the entire social, political, and ecological system, including historical legacies, power dynamics, and marginalized groups. Then definition of success. Everyone has their own definition of success, whether you are equity focused, justice focused, so food sovereignty and all those. Then understanding barriers, so systems of systemic inequality. Then proposed solutions. So here their success is structural transformation. So everyone has their what their success looks like. So here is the write-out. So again, I'm going to save it to notes for now. We'll look at it later. I wanted to do, let me just run one more. Create mind map of the we have analysis mind map. Let me see if it will do it here, or we have to go to the secret source. So we are waiting. I am going to stop sharing. I need to share again with sound. Let me first stop sharing my screen. Then I'm going to share it again with sound. I hadn't put this. This and this. Okay. So that you're able to hear the sound on my screen. Okay. It has done the gap analysis, but hasn't done the mind map. So I think we have to do a mind map this side. Sorry. So the mind map is on the studio side of the screen here. So here is the gap analysis. Again, let's just save it so that we don't lose it. Once bitten, twice shy. So the first thing we're going to look at in our secret sauce, I'm going to play for you. Let me just run this. Again, we haven't interrogated these sources to the best of our ability, but I just wanted to show you another, you are going to listen to a recording that just goes a different conversation, but based on our sources. And the thing about this is we are different learners. Some of us will listen, we'll just, as we're walking around, we're just listening and thinking and interrogating and internalizing. So this is just a different way of doing things. So let me just play for you. Please listen. Let me just play for you. In case you are not hearing it, you let me know. But I've now shared my sound.
Okay, so let's dive in. We're looking at East Africa's agricultural sector today, and it's facing some really big challenges. You've got intense climate change, all that volatility, and then this huge pressure for food security. It's a tough situation. Now, into this mix comes AI. Artificial intelligence is powering these smart farming systems, precision agriculture. It sounds pretty advanced. And when you look at what the big organizations are saying, the FAO, World Bank, OECD, there's this really strong narrative, isn't there? They basically frame this tech shift as, well, the obvious solution, boost yields, cure food supplies, fight poverty. It's a very optimistic view, techno-optimism, really. But for this deep dive, we've pulled together sources that suggest we need to look a bit closer, put on our critical lenses, maybe. Okay, let's unpack this then. What actually happens when technology, often designed, let's face it, with Western farms in mind, gets dropped onto smallholder farms in East Africa? Diverse farms, complex situations. We're exploring how this precision agriculture has, massive potential, but at the same time, it might be reinforcing.
Well, our sources call them new yet familiar systems of appropriation and control. Control over labor, over knowledge, even over resources.
And that tension, that's really the heart of it. What's interesting, though, is that the sources we looked at aren't just anti-technology, not at all. They're trying to figure out, how do we do this right? How do we make sure this AI rollout is actually positive? Learn from the past, maybe. Avoid the kind of conflicts we saw with things like GMO introductions. And to do that, you really have to start by acknowledging just how powerful these tools can be. The potential is incredible. The positive impacts, they're already happening right now, which makes getting the implementation details correct even more critical.
Okay, so let's start there. The upsides. What does AI actually look like, on the ground in East Africa today?
Well, it looks like better access and real efficiency gains. In Kenya, for instance, you've got platforms like Ujuzi Kilimo. They're providing smallholders with vital agricultural data. Then there are companies like Tula, AGN, Apollo Agriculture. They're using AI to help farmers get inputs, credit, access markets. And this isn't just theory. We're seeing real numbers. Apollo's customers in Kenya, they reported average yield increases around 28.7%.
Wow, nearly 30%. For a smallholder farmer, that is absolutely a game changer. And that boost comes from the precision aspect, right? How do these AI algorithms and sensors actually drive that efficiency?
Yeah, essentially it shifts farming from general advice, plant now, fertilize this much, to really hyper-localized insights. Precision farming uses AI to chew through real-time sensor data, stuff about soil conditions, crop health, even micro-weather patterns, so the farmer can be much more targeted, use water, use fertilizer, only.
Okay, now I take it you get the gist. So it gets all of the sources you have added and creates a conversation. And for some of us, that conversation is easier to follow than having to read 10 sources and keep track of everything. And you'll find, especially most people who we have so gotten used to having music in our ears, there's something. So you find it easier to create a podcast of your sources and listen to it. And then as they're having their conversations, different conversations, you're able to track and see, where can I come in? and what is the difference. So that's another bit of the studio. Now, for the free version, you see we have created a 12-minute podcast. So that is the limitation. I think it's sometimes 8, depending on the sources, 8, 10, and you are limited a bit. Then for the video, I think it's about 3 minutes. There is a small limitation. But if you have the pro version, you can even expand even more. And if you're, let's say, if you're a student and you have your lecturer allowing to record the classes, you can record and then put them here and then come back to it and see, like you are interacting with the lesson post-mortem and see, hey, I didn't understand this concept. Can I go back and look at it deeper? So another thing we did was the mind map. Here is the mind map of what we have. So it created a mind map. So if you're looking, again, we had the audio learners. Now this is for a bit of the visual learners. You have all of those sources. So smart farming in agriculture. So there are opportunities and benefits. So you expand this. So you will see the opportunities and benefits are precision farming, climate resilience, crop and disease monitoring, economic and livelihood impact, then examples and case studies. You can look at examples and case studies and expand that. You will have Apollo Agriculture, Hello Tractor, that's the Uber for farmers, Plant Village, Co-op in Kenya, then that one. But here I didn't want to see this one. What about climate resilience? You will see predictive modeling analysis, adaptive strategies, support. So it is like making a picture of the different sources you had. And if you are able to click this, you would go deep into it, this other side. But let us go back. Sorry, let's zoom in. So let's go back here. Let's go for another track. Imagine we go challenges and benefits, and barriers. Maybe that is what you want to look into. So we are looking at infrastructure and technology. So there's a to divide limited internet connectivity, inadequate power supply, high initial investment costs, lack of technical support and maintenance. Then the data and algorithmic issues. So this is where you have data scarcity and you say, my research is going to focus on how do we increase the data or consolidate the different data sets. So then the data quality, volume, veracity, velocity requirements, algorithmic bias. So reinforces Western hierarchies. So for you now, you want to come in with what do they call it? Yes, with an African perspective. Remember, we wanted to do, it was impact of AI on smallholder farmers in East Africa. So, there is that bias. So you want to address that in your research. Then penalizes degraded, so etc. So here is a mind map for a different type of learner. So the studio is tailored to different ways of learning. You can create flashcards for those. We're not going to go all of these. You can create flashcards. You can create reports that summarizes all of this. And then you can also create a quiz to just help quiz you to be sure that you have understood all the information that you have in your sources. So this is what we have. The video is going to take long, but I just wanted to take a pause here. If there are any questions, I think yesterday you asked, what should we use? What LLM or AI should we use for learning? And this is my suggestion. So we can take questions while hoping that the video will load, but basically it is the AI overview, but in video format. So that is what it is.
Oh, thank you
I have
so
a
much,
question.
Nimrod. Yes. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead, ma'am.
Yes, thank you so much, Nimrod.
Yes,
I was trying to create my mind map. So on this studio, after creating the mind map, because of course it says generating the mind map. So where do I get it after it has generated? Is it just exactly at the same platform, the studio, or it is saved somewhere? Then secondly, after saving my searches, like save on the note, how do I take them to maybe to my folders where I save my documents or all that? Or can it remain on this platform? I don't know. Thank you.
Thank you. I think it was Beatrice. So the first one, everything you do comes down here under the studio. So the notes are here. The mind map is this one. The different questions we raised are here. The audio overview is here. I think this was the gap analysis, something like that is here. So the different things are here. And how do you save them? I think you can save them to your drive. Let me see. Yeah, anyway, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't interfaced with it, the saving part, because I will always come back here. So there is no need for me to do this, because for me, I use the NotebookLM to just give me the pathway to follow to start doing the research. So I can just come back and check and then go away and follow up the research. So that's where it is. So luckily, I hope I've answered you, Beatrice. The video overview has, I think it has rendered. So let's just watch that. And this one has the ability to download. You can download it. So let's just watch that.
All right, let's dive in. Today, we're looking at one of the most exciting and frankly, one of the most complex topics in modern development, the role of artificial intelligence in African agriculture. What you've got here is a story of absolutely incredible promise, but also some really profound challenges. So let's get right into what this digital revolution could actually mean on the ground. Robots are on their way to East African farms. And no, that isn't science fiction. That's the opening line of a major academic paper. It just perfectly captures the techno-optimism that's sweeping the continent right now. This idea that AI is poised to solve some of the oldest problems in farming, everything from climate change to food security. So let's start with that optimistic vision. The big idea here is that AI can spark a brand new digital green revolution, one that could fundamentally transform how we grow food, especially for the smallholder farmers who are, the backbone of the entire system. The promise is really a farm that runs on data. I mean, just imagine using AI-powered sensors to apply the exact amount of water and fertilizer needed, saving resources, and, of course, money. Or what about using satellite imagery to spot crop disease weeks before the human eye ever could? AI can create these predictive models for droughts and floods, making farms way more resilient to climate shocks. And it doesn't stop there. It can even streamline the supply chain to cut down on waste and connect farmers directly to markets and financial services, cutting out the middlemen. So, why all this focus here? Well, because we're not talking about huge industrial operations. The real target is the smallholder farmer, the person working on just a few hectares of land. These are the people who are the silent engine of the world's food system. Empowering them with these tools, that could have a truly monumental impact on global food security. Okay, but like with any revolution, the promise quickly smacks right into the hard realities on the ground. Because, let's be honest, the best technology in the world is totally useless if people can't actually access it or use it. And this chart, man, it just lays out one of the biggest hurdles perfectly. Women make up the majority of the agricultural workforce in many parts of Africa, yet they own 37% fewer mobile phones than men. And the mobile phone is the critical tool for this revolution. That gap is then made even worse by the fact that rural internet access itself is so scarce, only reaching about 35% of these communities. And beyond that digital divide, you've got other huge barriers. Things like unreliable power and internet, the high cost of the sensors and the software, and a real lack of high-quality local data to even train the AI models in the first place. Then you have significant gaps in digital literacy and an almost complete absence of local networks for tech support. I mean, think about it. If a sensor breaks in a remote village, who's going to fix it? But the critique here goes even deeper than just these practical problems. Some researchers are starting to ask a much more uncomfortable question. Even if AI worked perfectly, are we just repeating old patterns of power and extraction, but, in a new digital form? This quote from Kate Crawford just cuts right to the heart of the issue. We've all heard that phrase, right? Data is the new oil. It's usually meant to celebrate this valuable new resource. But what Crawford points out is that we conveniently forget the devastating human and environmental costs that came with the actual oil industry, costs that often looked a whole lot like colonial exploitation. And this has led to this term, algorithmic colonization. It's the idea that AI systems, which are often designed in places like Silicon Valley, are not neutral, not at all. They carry the cultural biases of their creators. So when they're deployed without care in an African context, they can actually reinforce old power imbalances, locking in what one researcher has called a new Jim Code, and at the same time, devaluing centuries of local and indigenous farming wisdom. This brings us to a really fundamental conflict over what data even is. On one side, you have the FAIR principles. They basically frame data as a global resource that should be open and accessible for research and innovation. But on the other side, you've got the CARE principles, which argue that data from a community is a form of heritage that has to be controlled by that community. It's all about this idea of data sovereignty. And here's the real-world impact of getting this wrong. 78%. That is the staggering percentage of female farmers in one study who said the AI tools they were given simply did not fit their actual on-the-ground farming methods. I mean, just think about that for a second. This isn't just some small design flaw. It's what some researchers are calling gendered design violence, when technology built without the input of its most important users actively fails them and reinforces their marginalization. So, is this revolution doomed to just repeat the past? Well, not necessarily. There is a path forward, one that tries to reconcile the promise of this tech with these really powerful critiques, a way to move from a model of extraction to one of genuine empowerment. And the guiding principle for this new path is a framework called human-centric digital agroecology. I know, it's a bit of a mouthful, but the idea is actually pretty simple. Technology must serve people and the planet, not the other way around. It puts the farmer's agency, ecological balance, and equitable benefit sharing at the absolute center of innovation. And look, this isn't just theory, right? We have real-world examples of what this can look like. Apollo Agriculture in Kenya provides smallholders with a whole bundle of services, credit, farm inputs, and AI-driven advice. And the results are impressive. A 28.7% increase in crop yields, a 22% increase in dietary diversity. But look closer. The marginal landholders, they only saw a 9.4% gain. This shows that even a successful model can have these built-in algorithmic biases that just reinforce existing inequalities, which highlights the constant need for better, more inclusive design. So all of this points to a pretty clear roadmap for the future. Innovation has to be built with farmers, not just for them, and especially with women. It absolutely must integrate and respect indigenous knowledge instead of just dismissing it. Data has to be treated as a sovereign resource that's under community control. And all of this has to be supported by massive public investment in digital literacy and coherent government policies that actually put the smallholder first. Which leaves us with this final, really critical question. The potential of AI in agriculture is absolutely immense, but so are the risks. The challenge isn't just about building smarter technology. It's about building it with wisdom, with humility, and with a deep, deep commitment to justice. Because the future of food might just depend on it.
Okay, that's the end of it. So, in short, you have gotten your entire lecture about or a simple presentation about your sources in a way that you can digest. In a way that you can digest easily. So I think for today, let us stop here. So just to recap, we have gone through getting the right resources for our different topics. So that is either using Perplexity or Elicit. Then we come into NotebookLM, we load our sources and then just interrogate them and then find another way of trying to understand whether it means finding the shortfalls, finding the coherences, finding the different aspects that are in the different sources. Then we use the studio to make it more special or easier to digest, easier to understand instead of text. And that is where we are. So yesterday, we had said you come with a topic. So you come with a particular topic that you had. What we are going to do is on your own, you're going to go through the same. So this is basically what we are having as our pipeline, our framework. We will start from Elicit. We go to NotebookLM. Then from there, we'll now go to the other specialized tools that are coming in at the level of writing and also at the level of verifying and validating. So that is, I think that will be tomorrow. So my suggestion is you do this on your own, practice with the topic you had, just like we did here. Then tomorrow we'll have a simple breakout room with different topics. So where you interrogate them and come up with a research. And then we'll now go on to the next phase, which will be the specialized tools that come in after you have written your research. I beg to stop here so we can take questions, but I think for the information sharing for now, this is where we have stopped.
Thank you so much, Nimrod, for a wonderful presentation. Those who can clap hands, please clap hands for him. Thank you so much for the well-presented practical session. I believe almost everyone now has something to take away that they can go and do. And I believe we have added some tools to the toolboxes that we have, and everyone is ready to dive into the AI world ethically and responsibly, knowing what to do, how to do it, and also how to be responsible. Thank you so much, Nimrod. Looking at the questions, most of the questions that were being raised initially were attended to. I'm just checking if we have any other question that came. I think it was Google Drive link. Is it going to be shared? Yeah, I think yesterday you shared the Google Drive for yesterday. So maybe you can also share again, Nimrod, in the chat before we close so people can pick the link for future references. That's Aquilino. Thank you so much, Aquilino, for the question. For those who are asking for the YouTube link, I also have linked the YouTube link there for you to revisit the tutorials that we've been going through and also share with your friends who might have missed today's session so that they can also get in and learn with us. I don't see any other question that has not been answered. Most of the questions were in the previous question and answer section. Let me just check. I think I have 4 more things. Just says, thank you very much for the important and explicit information. We need more AI training sessions. Thank you. This is informative. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to you all for the appreciation. And we at the Regional Universities Forum for Capacity Building in Agriculture will try to continue with running these sessions, and we hope they will continue to help you to build you and to also guide you and support you through your academic endeavors. We are currently running, as I indicated yesterday and day before, that we are running this as a series of webinars that are directed to the student development. So please, my plea with you is invite a friend, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, and come. Let's learn together. Let's be here tomorrow, 3 p.m. East African time, and check your own time zone and be here. Let's share as much as possible. Let's practice. Let's learn together and be able to use these tools to transform our learning experiences wherever we are. I believe this is to add to a must-add tool to our toolboxes, AI. And now we have had several, but please, this is not a Bible. You can pick any other tools that you find exciting. This is just to give you a teaser of what the AI world is. There are lots of other tools that you can pick up from, that you can learn from, that you can experiment with, that can do a lot more other things than what we are doing currently. So you know your field, you know your discipline, look at AI tools that are being used in your field and how they are transforming maybe the learning processes and the other processes that are there in your field so that we don't lag behind. We want to move beyond um, our classroom walls, beyond what we can do within the four walls of our campuses, our universities. We want to be global citizens and be able to use these emerging tools with pride and also with ethics. So without any further ado, allow me to, no more questions, allow me to just thank our facilitator and bid you all farewell and say, let's meet tomorrow same time. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Tomorrow we have the first time, I think. I would have loved to see all your faces. But anyway, let's just go today. It's done.